Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the land of Bird DnD and Friday Tea Time. I'm trying to juggle my windows. There we go. So that I can see you guys and all of my other windows. Oh, mute the audio of the stream. See if I can make all this work. My headphones are losing their minds, but that's fine. We'll just figure it out as we go along. Maybe I will just turn them off. All right, as you can see, I have the beginnings of Bird DnD open here, just to remind us all of the world in which we're inhabiting, where we have a Putu, Bard, and a Quailodin. As I tweak my sound down, there we go. Bird DnD, yes, Bird DnD. It is Friday Tea Time. Welcome to Friday Tea Time. This week, y'all voted for some Bird DnD Halloween villains. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start out with kind of a warm-up, which is a thing that I already made up, which is the starling cult, the murmuration. If you remember the tweet. If you don't, that's basically all it said. It's a sort of hive mind cult of starlings, because starlings do those crazy big clouds of birds called a murmuration, and no one's totally sure how that whole thing works. Also, yes, starlings in the United States are a super invasive species. So, starling cult, new and exciting villain. And I'm trying to find my sketchy brush. So we're gonna start with them. And here's the thing, chat. This is gonna be like an improv show with a bunch of people standing on stage demanding that you give them input. I'm gonna need some input from you guys in order to continue creating Bird DnD. So some of this is on you, and if you guys don't have input, I may just end up telling you a story about starlings. I don't know. I can talk for quite a while just about birds. I can make stuff up. I can try telling you a story. But ideally, we're going to do some group inventing here. And invent some information about various bird villains and villain groups. So, starlings. Starlings are actually really attractive little birds. They've got little tipped feathers. They've got kind of an iridescent thing going on. As usual, we start with quick sketches of starlings to get the shapes. They have kind of long bills. See, look, I've already made him mad. It's already an angry starling, and they've got kind of like a floofy look because of the tips of their feathers. And they're kind of long birds. Well, hate that. That's good. Learn something. They've got kind of corvid shape. They're kind of long and their bills are just a little bit long. But they've got short little tails for some reason. And then, so yeah, they've got short stubby little tails, which is something I never noticed about starlings before, honestly. Yeah. Long body, long bills, short wee tails. So, well, let's see. One more kind of floofed up from behind. Oops. A little bit of mouth open floof. And yeah, okay. Da-da-da. So, starling cult. Let's get back to Bird DnD here. Somewhere in here I had, nope, those are quail references. Somewhere in here I have how to make, yeah, there we go. I have my how to make birds into people references. Let's move them back over to this file. And so now chat, now I'm gonna need some input. I told you this was an improv show. We need to design cult robes for starlings. Starlings form these crazy clouds of flocks of birds, and so I'm thinking of this cult as sort of a hive mind. Starlings, Hannah, starlings. I am sorry, I will enunciate more when I speak on stream. We need some cult, oh, okay. And she's like, no, it's me, not you. Starlings, cult robes for starlings. Cult robes for the murmuration. So I'm just gonna improvise a murmuration backstory here. Let's say that all starlings are a little bit prone to mass hallucinations, and some cult leader has taken advantage of this and formed like a permanent murmuration, whereas usually it's just like a crazy weekend. So they're sort of like a weird hive mind cult. I don't know, maybe I think they're probably sacrificing birds to things. That seems like a good evil cult process. So obviously they need like the Quailodin over here and his hen of grasses order. We need some spooky starling imagery. And the appropriate cultist robes. Well, then now I keep reading Hannah's tweet, cult robes for starlines, and I'm like, that's some sort of some sort of sci-fi stuff going on there. So he's got like kind of his feather hands folded over some sort of horrible staff. Maybe it's got a bird skull on it, you know? Yeah. Oh. So what? Cult robes for Starlines. You get tricked into going on a space cruise and then asked to join a cult. It's like going to one of those timeshares talks where they're like, yeah, we'll give you a free thing if you show up, and then they're like, but buy a timeshare. Yes. All right. So, I've gone a bit mad with just no bird shape and only robes here. But that's fine. I don't know though. I kind of want to show off its stubby tail. Well, maybe you see a bird foot here through the robe. Move that over. All right. If no one has any ideas here, I'm just gonna start telling you a story about a chicken. That's what's gonna happen. Believe it or not, I sort of planned for this. I invented a chicken named Hero, who's a hen named Hero, whose life goal is to join the Quailodon. She wants to become a Quailodon. She wants to become a member of the order of the hen of grasses. And she meets a gander who is supposed to join the town guard and help protect his village. But he's run away from home because he really wants to be a botanist. So those are our main characters for this improv adventure story. Now the question is, what do they get up to? And the answer is, I'm drawing a whole stream of villains. I don't know how I feel about the cult showing some leg here, but it's happened now, so. So I guess we're going with it. Yep, there we go. So what's the gander's name? The chicken is Hero. The gander will be named Leon. Leon, the goose who wants to be a botanist, and Hero, the hen who wants to be a paladin. How do they meet? Let's see. They meet because they both end up in trouble. Thank you. I think Leon is a nice name. They meet because they both end up in trouble. Not with the Starling cult. The Starling cult is clearly like an end of campaign sort of villainous achievement. No, they end up in trouble with a small scrub jay gang led by a sort of angry but not unreasonable Scrub Jay leader. So, you know, they're the kind of minor villains you can talk some sense into if you're that kind of group. See, I also I think they also it could be a Stellar's Jay. I do like Stellar's Jays, but Scrub Jay is just so there's a thing about so Scrub Jays don't have the blue jay like pointy crest thing. For whatever reason, it's just not a thing that they get to have. So I always feel like they're a little bit disappointed by that, and maybe they have a chip on their shoulder. Oh yeah, disappointed in trying too hard. Yes. So let's. I'm debating how much of this Starling I'm gonna cover with some sort of like, you know, culthood here. See, now he just looks like he's a kid under a blanket. Oh man, see, but then can you tell he's a starling? You're gonna have to make him look angry. He looked too gentle and unlovable for a minute there to be a villain. Starling. All right, let's. This is a very cartoon bird skull, but that's fine. I'm not willing to look up bird skull reference. It turns out, just gonna use my memory and hope that I remember what they look like. Something like this, I think. Okay, so what we've learned is that starling cults like stars because puns. So we'll start our cult with a star sort of symbol going on. Now, what else? Is it a bunch? It's a bunch of stars, I guess, because it's sort of a hive mind. Do we want like a cloud of stars, or are we into symmetry? Is it just a whole mess of stars, or is there some sort of meaning and purpose behind it? Also, I feel like we probably need to make it look a little horrifying and villainous. You know, like splash some blood on it or something. The usual thing that lets you know that there is a cult that's evil. I mean, unless we're gonna pretend they're up and standing until sort of the last minute. It kind of depends on whether you're going for like the video game cult where there's like just bodies on pikes everywhere, or if you want some subtlety. You want to maybe wonder if they're in fact just, you know, a strange religious organization you don't understand, or if they're actually evil. Make him a CEO. Oh, but everyone would then know he was actually evil. It would be so obvious. Okay, let's see here. hood. Birds in hoods. So there's the sort of, you can barely see behind kind of hood where you get that like hard shadow. Which is the idea behind every superhero ever who's worn a hood to try and hide their identity. Which is a bad idea, you guys. It's not a great way to hide your identity, and also it really ruins your peripheral vision. So, just pro tip for your future vigilante work. Go for the mask, not the hood. It'll serve you better in the long run. There we go. That's kind of cultist going on here. Okay. Let's hang some bones off this thing here. It's not creepy enough yet. This is October, y'all. We gotta really go for it. Gotta amp up the horror as much as I am capable of amping up horror, as mentioned in the tweet that suggested these topics. Everything I draw kind of ends up looking a little friendly and whimsical. Like it's not so much that I'm really trying. It's just a thing that naturally happens. And then you know, and then I'm stuck with a friendly starling cult. But that's fine. I can make them less friendly. Work hard to make them kind of horrible. Okay. Creepy bird wing hands. That like everyone was very torn about in the original stream, as I recall. But I've stuck to it. I've really committed to creepy bird wing hands. Which really functionally make no sense. But what can you do? It's what we're going with. Okay. Accoutrements. What other starling? Well, that leg is just weird and in the wrong place and like completely out of scale. Can't have that. Oh. And I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. Get that in a more useful place. Ooh, fractal patterns. Well, yeah, there definitely needs to be like a whole crowd of like just cloaked silhouettes in the background. Obviously, you are correct. That is important for the hive mind. But yeah, ooh, fractal pattern. Ooh, let's see. How do I make a fractal pattern scary? How do you? Maybe there's a filter for that. Pixelate, fragment? No, nope. Render, clouds, difference clouds. Solar. No, there's no. Turns out there's just no create fractal button in Photoshop. Who knew? But yeah, so maybe maybe they're, so it's like a kind of like a two-tone robe, right? It's like one color at the bottom and one color at the top. And where it sort of joins, you get, oh no, now we're watching me try and draw math. This is, you get kind of a fractal, like, divide. So when you see the cult members, they seem meaningless, but later a whole crowd shows up. Yeah, it's that kind of thing where you wanna see them in like their weird robes, mumbling to themselves for like a while before you end up with the final, like, you find the secret cave where the bodies are and like the horrifying bloody altar, and you're like, oh no, and then like all of them show up. That's the reveal of the size of the murmuration. So that's, I'm gonna paint a star on here with, so I think we've like, maybe I'm bad at drawing stars apparently. We'll get that there. And maybe it's like painted in blood, so it's a little bit drippy. But you sort of give him the benefit of the doubt. You're like, well, I don't know, maybe that's just a thing they do. Maybe it's his blood, maybe it's some sort of weird ritual. But no. Okay. Time to go Google fractal. Okay, it's a spirally thing. That's, so Googling fractal is unhelpful. It is in fact what I knew a fractal was, but it does not give me an excellent simple way to draw one. So, gonna go back to the simple branching tree fractal that I was aware of originally. So we'll get, yeah, that's we'll keep it there for a minute. And then in the background we'll just have like, crowd of masked, robed starlings. Kind of in silhouette, like you get in the background. Fractal. Yes, that's right. Attention 3 fractals have returned, and it was not your fault. Our craft has brought the fractals in for us. It's brought the fractals into the bird cult. That's not quite a shape. Okay, you know what? I have an idea. It's kind of a complicated idea, so it may not work. You may have to bear with me. But like, I kind of want like a like a horrible, like, above them silhouette of like, like backlit with like its wings spread, like, but like arm wings are, yeah, this is Arm wings are hard. But kind of like the head smacking monks in Monty Python are classic. Like I'm trying to make it's kind of hard to make this look creepy instead of just hilariously odd. Oh, that helps. There we go. Keep the yeah, okay. This will have the effect I want if I can make it. If I can draw it good. If I can draw it good, y'all. This will be as creepy as I wished it to be. Cuz I wanted sort of a looming shape, you know? I'll get it a little bit. Doesn't have to loom quite so high. It can loom a little more sedately, I think. Yeah, there we go. Kind of engulfing them to give it that like hive mind implication, you know? All within the shadows of my dark wings, as it were. Yeah, that's I think you're right. I think like closer to the shoulders sort of it feels a little bit more like immediate looming, like gathering them together. All right, let's move ourselves to center screen here. So let's see. Am I gonna background fractal robes? That feels like a lot of effort. But we're gonna kind of suggest it, I guess, here. We want the fractal to continue after all, because that's the fun of fractals. That'll be the thing that'll be the GIF that gets clipped from my stream. Me saying the fun of fractals. Just don't say we don't have fun here on Friday Tea Time. We're learning about fractals and cults. Hooray! Okay, I need to fix these wing hands here. They're a little bit hilarious. A little bit hilarious, a little bit not frightening. Oh, how did I do it on you guys? Pointy. Wing hands are pointy. Good. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit more frightening. A little bit less like a poorly drawn cartoon hand. I mean, it's still a cartoon hand. It's just now it's a bird cartoon hand with some feathers. They're not all the same exact length and have some, yeah, I don't know. That's fine. It's fine. And so let's see. Final thing here. Now that we have a looming background Starling. Does looming background starling have some sort of like insignia going on? Like, is there? No, there's not really space. I answered my own question. You're off the hook, chat. There is no insignia, only darkness. See, no, they're starlings. They're starlings because starlings are evil and invasive, and also because starlings do the murmuration, and it's super weird. Although I was once nearly robbed by a crow, so I know how you feel. I was once assaulted by a crow for a blueberry Danish. And I'm not over it yet. Yeah, but I mean, have you met a crow? They definitely don't join cults. They're very intelligent, independent, and like they argue a lot with each other. I don't think they'd ever come to some kind of consensus like that. Um, but yeah, someone brought starlings to America and was like, "This is a great idea." And now we have starlings, which are a crazy invasive species. But the cult is because I find the idea that they form these crazy cloud dance shapes really interesting. um, but I like crows, except for that one that tried to take my Danish. But he didn't get it. He didn't get my blueberry Danish. To be fair, that was his own fault. He really telegraphed his play. He made a couple of test runs before he really went for the Danish. He did slam into my shoulder though, because I was protecting the Danish. It was delicious Danish, Nevik Link. It was, and I was going to keep it for sure. Oh yes, sorry. Otenchi3's Twitter handle is Elizabeth Crow, so she and I are having some crow fun about her username. In case that's super unclear to anybody, although I think that the crow puns still work. No, triangles are bad. Don't like triangles. Scalloped. Yes, okay, so those swarms of starlings, they're called murmurations, which is one, the best cult name, and two, just like I guess we don't really understand like how they make those choices or like why they create those crazy shapes when they fly around in the sky. So, you know, so I invented a cult. That's how my brain works, y'all. I see a cool name for a thing that happens in nature, and I turn it into a cult. But yeah, bird watching is super fun. I would do it more and enjoy it more if I weren't decidedly not a morning person, because much good bird watching occurs at like 6 a.m. and I'm not a fan of 6 a.m. Oh yeah, the snakehead fish has been spotted in Georgia. Ugh, came up from Florida. Invasive species, boo. Turn them all into cults for your D&D games. Shame them with D&D. All right. I'm feeling pretty good about this, you guys. I'm feeling pretty firm and solid about our horrifying bird cult. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do what I did with the other ones, and grab a digital ink pen and go. What did I? Let's see. I did. Oh yeah, I did like a brush thing, and then yeah. I think I'm gonna ink these. I think I'm gonna go for the finished comic book black and white core book type illustration. So actual guinea fowl. Yeah. All right. Let's try and remember what of my huge mess of brushes I used to do this in the last one. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I remember. I remember because there's a sound bite attached to it. It's Mr. Natural. I remember now why all that happened. All right. So, oops. Starling Cult here has some dark robes. It's like his little spiky chin feathers. I like those. Those are fun. Make sure to get those in. Little white spot tips of his feathers here. Yeah, Mr. Natural. I don't know why I say Mr. Natural in a weird Midwest voice. But apparently that's just what automatically happens. I think it must be because someone else says something with Mr. in front of it in a similar voice somewhere, somehow, sometime, and it's just stuck in my head that way. But I don't know. Yeah, because I can. Because I have the power. Yeah. So while I'm inking this, I think we've got a pretty good grasp on Starling Evil. I think possibly we should discuss what other villainy we're going to get up to. Or we can talk about what Leon the gander and Hero the hen are going to do to get themselves into trouble with the scrub jays in their quest to become a Quailodin and a botanist, or a botanist and a Quailodin, because the goose wants to be a botanist and the hen wants to be a Quailodin. If you're just joining us and missed the beginning of the stream, when I threatened to tell everyone a story, the story is about Hero, the hen who wants to be a Quailodin, and Leon, the gander, who ran away from his village instead of joining the guard because he wants to be a botanist. They meet because they both get into trouble with a small gang of not Stellar's jays. We talked about this, scrub jays, because Stellar's jays are angrier but still have their little crests and therefore have less of a chip on their shoulder. I mean, if this is a D&D party, yes, he's definitely going to end up as a druid. But I mean, I think of him as sort of Leon. Leon's he's a nice sort of, he's a timid, like quiet, cautious gander. He's not your usual slightly loud, slightly annoyed gander. He doesn't really fit in. He just wants to learn about herbs and help people. Uh-huh. For a character I've just made up in the last hour, I'm starting to become quite fond of Leon. He seems like a very nice gander. Oh yeah, there's a gander specifically for Auntie Shepherd, Neolithic sheep. Because a while ago on Twitter she was bemoaning the sort of poor PR of the goose, and how whenever she posted anything about geese, people seemed to feel they immediately had to reply with how much they disliked geese, or how mean geese had been to them in the past, or how they'd been attacked by a goose. And she was like, "Why? Why is that? Like, just don't tell me about it." So Leon is here for her. Leon is Leon is specifically a goose PR move. um, I love geese. I think they are one of the coolest looking birds. Um, and I personally think that if you're attacked by one, you probably deserved it. Just as a general rule, unlike crows, who will try and steal your blueberry danishes. It says something about how good the Danish was that I chose to be collided with by a crow instead of allow him to take my Danish. I was like, no, you can slam into my shoulder, but you can't have the Danish. Yes, move to the country and get some Portuguese. Hang out with them. Send us photos. Oh, you should. I mean, they're geese at the park. They're. I grew up in one of the places that Canadian geese, Canada geese. You know, the the ones with the brown bodies and the black and white neck and head, um, that are Canadian. I grew up where they stop on their way down on their migration, and I and I have a fond spot for them. Even though I was almost certainly chased by one as a child, because I don't know, I've met children. I remember how I was as a child. I probably tried to hug a goose. um, we're still defending I personally think the crow was a juvenile male, and I think he was hoping to intimidate me into giving up my Danish, and when that didn't work, he made one good try at like a flying swipe. I mean, so okay, I feel like there's definitely wildlife that you can come across in Portland. First of all, if you haven't been, if since you've moved to Portland, if you haven't been to the I want to say Picket, the Pick whatever the mansion on the hill with the park and that whole park area, that's definitely worth it. Also, the Japanese garden that's sort of in that same area. You go to a rose garden and it's a whole big garden complex. That's really quite nice. So you should go. You should go this weekend. It'll be fun. I don't just tell it now. Yeah, Pittock. That it's the mansion is really cool. But I also like weird historic architecture and like setups where they're like, and this is where they did the laundry, and this is where the kitchen was, because it amuses me. But I really enjoyed it. Also, there's a really great view from the top and like a thing around it. I mean, I can't fault the art museum as a choice. I do like art museums. Welcome to Friday Tea Time, where Sarah tells people what to do in Portland, a place she doesn't live. But I like Portland. I don't go there as often as I would enjoy. I have friends there that I don't see enough. Oh yeah, did you? There are fractals here. I did the thing. Yeah, I mean, pigeons count. Pigeons are birds. Surely there are also seagulls in downtown. Although I don't know, maybe it's not quite close enough to the river. Just I feel like there were definitely like sometimes seagulls in Tennessee, and I was confused. But what can you do? So I'm just willing to assign seagulls to like any body of water, really. See, there's some seagulls. Good, I was correct. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be a time of year thing. Like maybe seagulls come inland for like the stormy winter or something. I don't know. I've never investigated why there were seagulls like inland in Tennessee by like Watts Bar Lake. Seagulls are probably. I mean, they're thieves for sure, or barbarians. I could see like an angry seagull barbarian. Let's see what But I feel the seagulls like jays. I feel would form a gang, or they'd be bandits. Um, that hummingbird part. It's true. The hummingbird, the hummingbird rage. Um, I do have some other bird thoughts for villains. For pirates, I watch a lot of nature shows, y'all, and the great skua literally bullies other birds until they like throw up their food and takes it. Um, Also, frigate birds, which we did not get to in Weird Bird Stream, but which I'm quite fond of, bully other seabirds into giving up their catch. So, you know, there's a significant number of like marauding seabirds out there that steal fishermen's catches for themselves. So that's what I was thinking for pirates is a band of seabirds who sort of notoriously bully, murder, and steal from other seabirds. Cormorants sort of sometimes, but I see. I don't know. Penguins are so nice though. Oh, our macaroni penguins, macar, mac, macaroni penguins. Are they bad? Are they mean piratey penguins? Yeah, I mean not everyone's an evil villain pirate. I just think that the skua and the frigate birds probably are evil villain pirates. The kind of pirates that sink ships and kill everyone on board and raise whole villages who don't pay them their fees. That kind of pirate. It is funny when a nice person is a pirate, but are they then a villain? Or are they just a colorful NPC? you know, the sort of NPC that helps the hero out after finding them marooned on a desert island, for example. Yeah, so my general personal experience with role playing and D&D in particular is that I tend to be in groups who have the sort of people who will go out of our way to try and talk everyone out of everything, and like just make friends with everyone we can. The sort of group that will not only refuse to fight an NPC, but then get them to question their own systemic racism. You know, that kind of role playing group. That's a thing that really happened. We lectured an elf about her preconceived notions of equality and race. Apparently we could have fought them, but why would you do that? So yeah, we could have a pirate redemption arc going on in our villainous pantheon catalog team. I don't know. Pantheon felt weirdly appropriate. Possibly I've been playing too much Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah, I'm world building. I can do what I want. So let's put all of these ideas together. We have a captain, a penguin captain, a macaroni penguin captain, because he has a fancy tuft. But he has a crew of maybe like way worse people, like some marauding seagulls, some skua, and some frigate birds who just, they really think that it should be a little bit more aggressive, that he's not going far enough. And our heroes, who, as you recall, are a hen named Hero and a gander named Leon. They have to help him stop a mutiny and like keep his ship after part of his crew show themselves as like just really bad people. One nasty albatross. The albatross round your neck. Oh, sailor puns. So yeah, okay, good. We have a whole pirate backstory now. What is the penguin's name? And I'm gonna say that other people besides Hannah have to pick the penguin's name because Hannah invented the penguin. So we've got to. I know Hannah, but like everyone has to play. We need. Look, if no one else has an idea, you definitely get to name the penguin. I'm just saying, we need everyone to. Captain Punko was what I was going to. Okay, fair. See, now that you've done that, everyone's gonna be like, but I don't have another idea. Come on, chat, you can do it. I have all kinds of faith in you. Everyone pause, because we have to address something. Did you guys see that someone was trying to claim that a pic of a Putu was a Chinese attempt at resurrecting a prehistoric owl? I did not see that, Otenchi 3. But we definitely need to talk about this now. Was this like one of those like silly articles that gets passed around like like Facebook, or was this a tweet or something? Like, because that is amazing. and hilarious. And yes, Joan of Snark, Alejandro the Captain Penguin is perfect. I'm going with it. His name is Alejandro. But back to the Chinese resurrecting a prehistoric owl. What? Give us more information, Otenshi 3. We need to know. We need to know what's happened. And by we I mean me, because this is my stream and I get to derail it as much as I want. And I'm flabbergasted. I mean, it's a real thing. I just assumed that everyone knew that it was a real thing. You know, like an animal that exists that you well, somehow the idea that it's Brazil that they think is trying to resurrect an ancient owl is funnier. Just, I'm clicking on this link. We're finding out what's going on. Was a prehistoric owl cloned by Brazilian scientists? Is the headline of the fact check. Oh, got it. Oh, okay. A Brazilian scientist was allegedly hoisted by his own petard when his eyes were plucked out by a prehistoric species of owl he had cloned. So not only are we saying that they're a weird prehistoric owl cloned by a Brazilian scientist, we're saying that it murdered him. Oh no. Let's see. The Daily Buzz published the story. Um, oh my gosh. There's a whole story. Apparently he was rushed to a hospital where he's in serious but stable condition. But he lost both eyes. Oh, but of course none of that happened because it's a picture of a putu. Or a potu? I forget what we eventually discovered. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's like it's a whole article. It's a whole long article. Oh no. That wow. Oh, good lord. That's just that's a thing that we would make up, you guys. That's a thing we would make up in chat. A crazy story that is 100% not real. I just thought it was like a caption, like a passed around caption, but no, there's a whole story about him being in the hospital and like someone put effort into this extremely complicated fake story of resurrected owl creatures. It's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us, Otenchi 3. Thank you for bringing that light into our lives. The light of the imaginary Brazilian scientist whose eyes were plucked out by a prehistoric owl that does not exist. Now that we have that, we can move on with our day. I mean, to be fair, it feels like with most of those stories, like it's China that gets blamed for weird science nowadays, which is why it's somehow better than it's Brazil. They're like, oh yeah, no, Brazil, cloning owls down there. But well, that's definitely going to be the highlight of my day, knowing that someone somewhere thinks that a putu is a prehistoric murder owl. Right? Yeah, like that's such a specific thing to. I mean, that's not a thing that actual raptors do. It's not a it's not a thing that happens. Basically, like they don't go for the eyes. It's not. Ah, oh, the internet, equally full of joy and horror. Yeah, once you're dead, it's okay if they eat your eyeballs once you're dead. There's another clip for you. Take that one out of context. Learning about fractals and eating your eyeballs once you're dead. I should try and be a little bit more wholesome, I guess. But it is an October villain stream, so what song? S- suddenly it was like, oh my god, I love that song. Is it? There's an eyeball eating song. What's happening? I'm scared. No, this seems pretty wholesome. It's fair. It's a cult of starlings, prehistoric owls eating your eyes. Like this is on brand, on brand enough. Oh, Jonathan Colton's Will Eat Your Brains. Yes, the the business zombies. Uh, I've decided that these little, oh, that was a very large eraser. That these little decorative bits are going to be broken eggs because of course they are. Because what I want to do is add more tiny detail. I don't know it well enough to have it stuck in my head, but I do quite enjoy Jonathan Colton. I saw him in concert once some time ago in like the sketchiest part of San Francisco. He I'm going to read a thing from chat in case you aren't watching chat and only listening. From Necro Buffalo. I am mildly disappointed we never started a sing along when I was a humans versus zombies organizer. Now, taken out of context, being a humans versus zombies organizer sounds like some sort of amazing horror movie job. But the idea of a bunch of humans and zombies singing that Jonathan Colton song live is actually kind of amazing. And I'm now sorry that that's not just a music video. So yeah, now that we have Alejandro the Penguin Pirate, I feel like it's time to talk about Halloween a little bit. It's zombie humans versus zombies tag, but zombie themed with Nerf blasters seems perfect. Um, thanks for the clip of eating eyeballs. Once in college, back in the day, I helped do zombie makeup for a student zombie film because of course because, you know, that's what you did. You all worked on everybody else's films. And I will say that zombie films are definitely the most fun to work on. There's a lot of shambling, a lot of like adding fake wounds. But yeah, for Halloween, good Halloween theme music. Check out some Jonathan Colton. Check out some Voltaire. You can also check out some Voltaire for some fun adult Star Trek humor, which we won't talk about more here because we're a youth-friendly stream-ish, sort of, I guess. But you know, just check that out. Just saying. Get some kind of like the cracked egg pattern, actually. Something about the crack just makes it a really interesting visual pattern. Ah, yes. Oh, I wish I could remember all of the words to the SS making some. Because it's a lot of really good fake technobabble. Voltaire worked on whatever that cartoon show was. Can't remember the name. Back in the day. Technobabble might be too close to your day job. That's fair. Yeah, because I remember I remember sort of the general thing. Yeah, it's oh yeah, because he does like the Kirk voice. I was stranded on a planet, just me and Spock. We met a nasty Nazi alien. He locked our asses up. We found a hunk of crystal and a metal piece of bed, and we made a laser phaser gun and shot him in the head. It's a really good song, everyone. It's an excellent song. Yeah, it's a bounce a graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish. That's the way we do it. I think that's the way we do it, lads. We're making. Yeah. Anyway, uh, it's a beautiful song. Possibly, it's especially beautiful to me because my first Star Trek love is the original series. Yeah, it's got that sort of. It's got a like a good pub song like kind of beat to it. Oh, where's the bit? There's a bit. And what's up with the Klingons? Remember in the day, they look like Puerto Ricans and they dressed in gold lame, and now they look like heavy metal rockers from the dead. With leather vests and lobsters on their heads. Yes. Sponsor us, Voltaire. Ah, not a thing. But that's an excellent song. And yeah, I love the original series. It's my Star Trek fave. Um, just, you know, it's what if I really need to cheer up, that's the thing I'll put on. It's an episode of the original series. Sorry for the crazy rotating canvas. Just got to get those wings in there. But yeah, Voltaire does a lot of solid Halloween stuff for your October themed celebrations, along with some excellent Star Trek stuff. And Jonathan Coulton has the sort of supervillain like hideout, where he's he kidnaps a woman and makes horrible monsters to try and woo her. Skull Crusher Mountain, that's what it's called. It's good Halloween fun. So, trying to wrap up these fractals here, because we want to move on to Alejandro. Oh dear. It's isn't it enough to know that I ruined a pony making a gift for you? Yes, that song. It's an excellent song. Fractals, you guys. Math. I'm basically doing these fractals based on like a picture of a fractal tree a programmer friend of mine sent to me that he had made. So, in case you're wondering what's going on there, that's what's happening. I'm just doing the most, yes, I'm doing the most simplified version of fractals. Oh. Yeah, it does kind of have a molecular chemistry map look to it, doesn't it? But what can you do? Fractals are kind of complicated. No, chemistry, no. Oh, such a pun. Such a chemistry pun. Okay. So, are Bird DnD pirates, do they fly under a bird skull flag, do you think? Is that how that works? Of course, yeah, okay. So like a skull and like crossed wings, or like chicken. What about a skull and like a wishbone? What about just like a skull with like two halves of a broken wishbone under it? Oh no. Broken wishbone. Yeah, that's right. I'm laughing at my own ideas now. That's Now I'm just amusing myself. All right, we're about ready to move on to pirates. Don't you worry. We're getting there. Just gotta finish these fractals and then do the sort of brushed on like shadow stuff that I did with the other one, because I think that really fits with the dark cult group here. Then we'll move on to Alejandro. with apologies to any actual Spanish-speaking people who might be watching and heard me say Alejandro. Airship pirate stick. Well, the only thing I can do to help with that is to try and get something else stuck in your head. So I'm not sure that we want that to happen. All right. Time for shadows. Where's that? It's time for darkness. Which brush? Surely this brush. Yes. Surely this brush. I should really be more familiar with Abney Park's stuff as someone who was a large into the steampunk thing when they used to have more than like 2 conventions. What a pretty little cult. Oh, such a nice little cult. I'm trying to make a nice clean like brush shadow transition. Trying to channel like Jack Kirby comics. It's just there. I'm trying to, yeah. You know, what can you do? Sometimes these things happen. Sometimes you add some detail and then you take it away. For the good of the whole. Yeah, we're gonna go back to the patented select a shape to mask the rest style here. There we go. Oh, too much. There we go. Let's get a little bit of shadow. There. And I was gonna black out the bottom of the robes, but I'm not convinced that will. Feels like it will be a mistake. Yeah, the whole time I've been sketching, this is the first time someone said this in chat, but the whole time I've been sketching this, I've been like look at him like showing some leg like through the little slit in his robe, like that's a little risque. And then I thought, should I leave that? And then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it that way. I'm glad that someone also noticed. I'm just gonna see if I feel this is a genuine mistake here. No, I think it's actually gonna oops. Oh, this is a good point. Let's save this. Let's save the file before anything goes wrong. Let's just get that in there. Save. Every cult has a weird sexual element. Yeah, no, I again, oh God, save. Yes, that's anytime an artist realizes they haven't saved in a while, there's a moment of like panic for what could have been. It's just, panic based on tragic errors past, horror that has happened before and may yet happen again. Hours of labor lost to computer crashes. Files accidentally saved over other files. Just all the horror that can occur from unsaved drawings. The true horror of Halloween. Photoshop crashes after an hour and a half of design work. Now, we're 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 trying to stay fairly family friendly here. For example, I try hard not to curse when I'm doing this stream, just because I feel like I may as well. But I don't guarantee that other elements of it will be completely acceptable to everyone. It just stays mostly clean and mostly, you know, it's fine. We can we can push the boundaries a little bit. What layer am I on? What is happening? This layer. Yes. Now this is going to be tricky. Try and get this even. And give it that sort of brushed on look, but still have it be sort of point the holes. No, it's just an element of. It's not necessarily a whole thing. Look, he's just showing a little leg, That's all. Breaking into mating dance displays. Oh no. There you go. A bird of paradise dance troupe. It's all overcomplicated mating dance displays. Oh no. Fractals. No one can stand against the murmuration. What was the thing I said on Twitter? I speak for the murmuration. We are legion. None shall oppose us. Hmm. I question my choices, but I've done the thing. It's been done. tweeter. Got a little blurry there. But we're just gonna have to keep going. Gotta move on. Gotta move on to break time and pirates. Star on the skull I feel is painted in blood, which is why I left it for like a paintbrushy effect. We'll see if I can pull it off. Stars. Oh, the darkest timeline version of Lisa Frank. And this is my murder trapper keeper. I've collected the blood star and the this week's stream is full of good clips. Learning about fractals, eating eyeballs. No, it's blood. It's just more and more wholesome and family friendly by the minute. Although I did specifically say we were going to do kind of a Halloween month thing for the next stream. Probably the next few. I don't know what next week is going to be, but I love Halloween. So I wanted to do some spooky stuff. You know, or some sheep guana stuff. That's sheep guana is every day is sheep guana day. Every month is sheep guana month. But I thought some spooky villains might be fun for the Halloween month. Their blood. Oh, you leave chat for 1 minute and they start making pustule stickers. Filled with blood. No. Okay, let's see here. So wait, okay, this side story involves, I guess, people who think that pigeon wings are like moth wings and like shed powder. It's not. I'm confused as to how they came to this conclusion. But you know, I guess to each his own. You can have your dreams and your weird beliefs about pigeons. That's okay. I mean, should we spoil it for him, or should we allow him to continue to believe? Although someone should tell him that he needs to clean his windshield. It's not great for your car. Sorry to anyone who's not watching chat and just heard that whole thing. We're talking about pigeons pooping on someone's windshield. Just in case you needed some context. for the words I'm saying as I draw Starling cult members. Yeah, it's very wholesome. It's not creepy or horrifying at all. It's just one big, loving Starling family. You know, like you have. It's fine. Don't worry, nothing bad is gonna happen. Yeah, I feel like most of what I usually talk about on stream isn't very memorable or clippable, but today we're really going for the for the horror and weirdness. What with the what with the cult and all. I mean, I'm not exactly uh, dissuading any of the weirdness. You know, just gonna wrap up this shading here. Try and make a nice even transition. Failed to do that. Try and clean it up. Just make it darker and darker until it's just black. Call it a day. Is what's gonna happen. It's how I'm gonna finish the inking here. Get ourselves some scary shadows. Oh, too much scary shadow. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about the general cult effect going on here. I feel like we've captured the murmuration effectively. Made it creepy, but you know, not too creepy because it's Bird DnD, so I mean, you know, it has to exist in the same world as the Putu Bard. And I will remind you, midstream, again, the same world as Hero the hen who wants to be a Qualadin, and Leon the gander who wants to be a botanist. Just gonna keep bringing them up until you tell me to stop or you demand more of the story. Because now I'm really invested in Leon's future, it turns out. Hero too, but more Leon. I don't know. It's because he wants to be a botanist, I think. All right. Let's sketch layer away. Save. Save. Touch up these little edges here where I got a little bit out of bounds. Add some, there we go. Let's get a little bit, dun da da, cult, complete. We've, well, let's add a little bit little bit of wing shadows. The lack of wing shadows feels weird since there's so much shading on everything else. Let's just see if we can give it just a little bit of no depth. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Just randomly add swipes of shadow. Cult. Dun da da. So. Oh no, I forgot you guys, I forgot the blood star. Hold on. Is not quite finished. Too small. Too large. You know what? It might just be the wrong brush. Let's find a better painty brush. Maybe. Ooh, that's fun looking. I don't know. No, I have concerns. Let's maybe a bristle brush of some kind. This is what happens when you have a brush library that's too hilariously large. Not watercolor. No. Brush pen? No. Going back. Whoa, sponge. No. Stop. No. Going back to Mr. Natural. Just gonna go back to where we started. Yeah. There. There's a whole system of files I could be using for my brushes, but I'm not. So you know, what can you do? But yeah, there, Bloodstar is back. I hope it's back. It's quite behind on my version of the stream, but that could be because I'm using all of the internet. So there we go. Starling Cult. The Murmuration. So we have, it's about 4:51. I'm gonna make some more tea, so we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna check. I think that we can bring. Oh no, he moved his bed. You can't see the cat. Oh, cat cam. No cat cam. We'll go to break time here. Put the. Yeah, this is a lighter cat bed. He drags this cat bed around. So we'll have the break thing up. And yeah, he says you saw his little kitty butt. Just the end. I had it all. Before I started streaming. I swear I set it all up nicely, so that it would point at his cat bed, and then when he got in his cat bed, he pushed it out of the screen, pushed it out of the shot. So I'm gonna go make some tea quickly. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Just go on a quick break. Talk amongst yourselves about Alejandro, the penguin pirate. and we'll figure it out. Be right back. And we're back. Break time over. Returned with more tea. I hope, Necker Buffalo, that you got to scritch your cats. I hope they appreciated the love. Just gonna group these layers and label them cult, because why not make your Photoshop document extra weird? And now, I'm just gonna leave this Snopes article about the cloned owl up forever. Just absolutely forever. Okay, gonna look up macaroni, not salad, macaroni penguin. Get myself some visuals. Yes. A good what's a good Captain Penguin post? Ah, yes. Like so many other birds, they have bright red eyes for some reason. And very excellently shaped bills. Perfect. Oh no. In bed sick. That's not good. Cat not being supportive? Yay, cat scritches. Okay. So, just gonna close these starling reference images. Open some macaroni penguin. I mean macaroni, but let's try and make it fancy. Some excellent little penguin images here. Okay. New layer. New villainous adventure. Back to the pencil. And the audio of me swallowing tea. Okay, let's start again with some little penguin sketches here. They've got a really weird bill. It kind of has a little sort of sail on top there. And then, because this is the actual, yeah, right here is where the little mouth is. And then it dips way in. And this goes to the floof. Put that up there. The inevitable cats demand dinner for at least an hour before actual dinner, because otherwise how will they be sure that it's going to happen? If they don't ask for it, you might not give it to them. It could just, if you don't get reminded, I mean, who knows what could happen. And the eye is kind of right there. And it is red with a tiny pupil. It's just how it is. It's not that her watch is incorrect. It's that she believes that you that you need sort of like a lot of pre-warning, or it just won't happen. There's concern there. Oh, this penguin looks very, very odd. Okay, that's enough of that whole penguin shape. Penguins have these really great sort of, they puff their chests out. It's really excellent. Yes, exactly, Arcraft. They're making sure that you have time to go out, hunt for the food, bring it back. They want you to have plenty of warning. She knows where her foods are kept. Oh, my cat is like that. He anytime there's a certain kind of bag crinkle, he will run into the kitchen being like, "Oh good, it's the cat treat bag." And if it's not, it's just very disappointing for him. He's like, "Oh no, this is just a plastic bag of normal things like clips." It's so sad for him. It's like he's been lied to. Right. Getting ourselves a little penguin here. Because then this goes to there. He's got, they're kind of like eyebrows actually. Less like a hat, more like spectacular eyebrows. Get some. Get some penguin going on here. Okay. Now we kind of got the basic shape of penguin down. It's I see Bleach Kitty has shown up to tell us about my niece Sprocket. The first time I ever pet sit for Sprocket, I showed up and they'd left the bag with the treats just slightly ajar. And I came into like just a destroyed bag in the very middle of the kitchen, and I sent them photos of it. Sprocket's a disaster kitty, and I love her. So now I've drawn this penguin. I've discovered a flaw in my plan, which is that I don't know how to make penguin flippers into creepy bird hands. Because penguin flippers don't have sort of the big feathers that kind of become the creepy bird hand. It's yeah. I guess they're mittens. I don't so let's try and figure that. Maybe maybe I'll just politely gloss over it and pretend that. So he's like, you know, he's got his chest puffed out and he's got his hands on his hips, and you can't tell that it's just it's just a penguin flipper. You know, maybe that's where we're going with it. It's art. I don't have to explain it. You can come up with it later. Just, yeah, it doesn't, we just never talk about it. Yeah, exactly. Hold like a swashbuckly sword with like a really big handguard. Yeah, sure. That makes perfect sense. Anyway, so I think we're just gonna gloss. Yeah, I can't. We're just gonna gloss over it because they definitely have like flippers as opposed to wings. It's it's a problem. So yeah, I'm just gonna gloss over it. We're not gonna, instead of solving the problem, we're gonna ignore the problem. Yeah. So I kind of like this pose that I sketched, kind of real penguin here. But I don't know. I think maybe have the actual captain looking at the camera, maybe, because he can have his sort of spectacular fringe going out to the sides. And then we can sort of, it's not as good a view of his really exciting looking beak though, but it's a good confrontational captain view though. Yeah, penguin is judging you. Because then he can have his sort of chest puffed out and his penguin hand on his sword here. You know, as you do. His Okay, I tell you what, this is the compromise. His name is Captain Alejandro Pungo. Figure that out. Say that 10 times fast. So let's we need to make sure he has sufficient crest fluff. He should have the most spectacular fluff because he's the captain. Yeah, there we go. That's more like it. Oh, hey, we don't have to record it. It auto records for Twitch, and I have discovered that I can download them from Twitch, so I don't even have to start recording on my own thing. So don't you worry. They are technically forever, but it'll be up on Twitch automatically for a bit. I'm tweaking my sound down a little bit because for me it's going into the red. Let me know if I make it too quiet, you guys. I think I put my microphone on closer to my face when I came back from break. But yeah, that's actually, this brings up a thing that I kind of want to ask y'all in chat. And And no, it's not about the Captain Penguin yet. Um, it's about uh, the history of these streams. I don't have some of the beginning ones, but I should have most of them from like the second or third onwards. Does anyone have any desire to have them on like a YouTube page as like an archive or anything? Is that a thing that people would be happy to have as opposed to just having to catch up, like within a couple of weeks if you miss one? Because I can. Oh, yes, in all caps. Cool. Um, all right. I will get that up there for you guys and tweet a link. Because I have a Sarah with T email and YouTube that I'm not using really. I just took it because I felt it was important to have it since everything else is Sarah with T branded. So I'll go ahead and get those up for you guys. Because yeah, Twitch does delete them after a certain amount of time, and I kind of have them recorded or downloaded, and I want to keep them for people if people want to be able to watch them back. Okay. So YouTube history it is. We'll get some up there. Now, the next important question, which is not about YouTube, it's about Captain Alejandro Pungo, is what kind of pirate outfit does this penguin wear? Like, is it a crazy like captain's vest with like a cravat? Do we have like a lacy like cravat going on, and like a whole jacket, with like big brass buttons? Is that? Oh no! Now we're murdering seals. Um, so is it that kind of pirate, or are we more like did I make a new layer for that? I didn't. Oh well. Or are we more like, laced up shirt, leather belt, like a lot of belts and buckles kind of pirate? Are we a fancy pirate, or are we a Mad Max pirate? A piratey pirate, or a wannabe gentleman pirate? Just, yeah, a penguin killing a seal would be essentially like fighting an owlbear in D&D, a horrible monster, a leopard seal specifically. But no, this is important. Are we fancy captain, or are we dashing swashbuckly buckles and leather captain? Fancy captain? Fancy? I hear a vote for fancy. Let's call them the votes for fancy or leather. Fancy or leather are our two versions of captain. Both. Fancy on land and leather on water. Oh no. Well, that's sort of the point, right? Is that you're fancy even though you're like pirating. All right, I'm seeing mostly votes for fancy, so we're going for fancy. As we've proven with all birds, there are no pants. Pants aren't a thing that birds get. So no worries. He's still a little naked. Also, penguins have amazing feet because they just have to kind of shuffle around on land, so they're very thick ankles and and sturdy looking. Yeah, just I don't know. It's a thing. It's canon now. Just birds don't wear pants. Oh, what does a tiny? No, that we're there are no time. I don't want to try and figure out the semantics of that in Bird D&D. Yeah, Donald Duck does not wear pants. It's true. He's the original pantsless anthropomorphic bird. Let's Okay, so we need some fancy collar going on here. Get some down there. But then his lacy. Oh no! Yes, a mantis shrimp. You are correct. A mantis shrimp is what it needs. Where? Let's see. Kind of a. I feel like maybe a tailcoat. I feel like it kind of goes like that, and then you know over his tail. Haha, tailcoat. Get it? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize for bringing that to the table, but it's happened and I can't take it back. Okay. Big silly cuffs. Very 17th century. No, sorry, 1700s. Why they do it that way, I can never. I mean, functionally, I understand the semantics behind it, but it's confusing and it always has been. All right, a belt because with a like hilariously fancy buckle, and then he's got a cutlass. A cutlass, which I will now have to Google. Googling cutlass. Yes, the sword, not the car. Oh, it's so many pictures of an Oldsmobile cutlass on here. Thanks the internet. That's pirate cutlass. Yeah. Yes, this kind of silly pirate cutlass. Perfect. Because it's got the big dish. And then this one is obviously sheathed because I feel like it sort of drags on the ground a little. I feel like, and we can bring it up a bit. Let's not make it too unhelpful for Captain Alejandro Pungo the Third. Okay. Now, while we're googling things, let's find a nice lacy cravat. Oh, it needs to be way overdone. I need a really good, hilariously overdone one. Not. Oh man. Ooh, that one has a bow. That one has potential. I'm getting a lot of modern goth lady cravats, which is not helpful. How about this yeah, that's sort of okay. Well, we're gonna mostly make it up then, I guess. Cool. No problem. Hugh Laurie and Blackadder has a yeah, that's a solid cravat. So let's I'll get some laciness here. Second level. Got some, and then a third level of just lace, and then of course underneath there's a fancy vest, because of course underneath there's a fancy vest. All right, get some. Let's see what else. He's got a pirate sword. He's got, yeah, a waistcoat, of course. And yeah, so I feel like he's kind of set. Like what other party things? Oh, guys, should he have a peg leg? Should he have should this be a peg leg? Just no. Oh, no. No, bandana doesn't really match the fancy. Like, he should have a fancy hat, but instead he has fancy hair. Oh, that's true. I guess it's really more of a prosthetic foot at that point. And they've got such good sort of built-in pantaloons with the way that their body is shaped. So let's see. Oh, it's a question. Am I still taking a vacation? Yes, there will still be. There's no stream on Friday the 25th. I will not be streaming. I will be gone. I'll be on vacation. Maybe he has. Oh, Oh, a pirate chest. He needs a pirate chest. That's what he needs. That'll fix it. Or ooh, a flag. Let's shrink him, because I made him quite large. I got excited, because we need the flag above him here. So we'd said a bird skull with a broken wishbone underneath. So now it's a front skull. It's a front view of a human skull. So let's now, I said I wasn't going to look up bird skulls. Now I'm looking up bird skulls. Because I wonder, like, a front, should it be a side view? Because a side view is kind of more recognizable, but the front view is kind of yeah. Let's do kind of yeah. Let's see if we can't make the front view happen here. Just gonna grab some reference. because, you know, ooh, front views of eagle skulls. That's got potential. Just stick that there. Now I'm narrating dragging images to my desktop, but you know, what can you do? I gotta try and make it interesting. Oh, that's true. There are some pirate flags with the three-quarter view. I feel like one of these reference images did not actually drag to my desktop. Oops. Bird. So we've got kind of the sort of front-ish overhead view, which is that sort of, you know, you can see the length of the bill coming in, kind of like that. And then there's more like the hard front view, which is a little bit more obscure and odd, because so there's the jaw underneath the top of the bill, and there's the little cheekbones, the eye sockets. So let's see which serves the purpose better. I actually think the front view, because it looks so worried. It looks very concerned. About piracy. So yeah, and the slightly overhead view is a little bit to use the three-quarter view of a skull on a flag. So the usual Jolly Roger flag that you're used to seeing is the sort of front view of a human skull, and some of them had a more three-quarter view of the skull, as opposed to a hard front view. There are multiple skull flags in pirate history, it turns out. Learning something. In fact, I forget. Is it Bluebeard is the Jolly Roger that we sort of most commonly associate? Is that the? We need to stylize this bird skull a little bit, because you know, because it's a flag. Oh yeah, sorry, you're right, Blackbeard. Ah, yes, Blackbeard. Blackbeard is the pirate. Bluebeard is the mythical serial killer. Right. Apologies to just men with colored beards. They need to differentiate themselves better, is all I'm saying. Like maybe one of them should be Pirate Beard and the other should be Murder Beard. That's an unjustifiable name. I apologize. Murder Beard. Murder Beard, everyone's favorite scary story. So kind of need to simplify the bird skull to pirate flag status here. We're getting there. Oh, now he looks less scared, more angry. That's probably better. He's a pirate flag after all. And underneath, a broken wishbone. Another thing I have to Google, because I can do a cartoon wishbone, but I want to make sure. Oh, wishbone. The dog. No. Yes. Okay. Good. They look like I remember them looking. So we do a broken wishbone underneath. There we go. Pirate flag. Hope you feel better, Otenchi. Take your meds. Hope your head feels better. There we go. Piracy. Okay. Oh. If that noise went through, that was me working my foot on my broken, cracked footstool here. Yeah, just sit here and be like, pirates. Yeah, just, you know, for me. It's more of a banner, I think, largely, because I don't want to try and distort the pirate flag image into a flag. Oh, I could use the warp tool to make the flag flappy. I could do that. But actually, I think I might use it as a framing device instead. So I think we might sort of, oops. Sort of have Captain here kind of framed by a flag banner. And I think we need to make the flag banner a little bit lower. I think we've gotten a little bit overexcited here. Kind of bring that down. There we go. Okay. Side penguin here. I'm pretty happy with that sketch. I think it's time to carry on to inking it, because we're at 5:37 and we want to get to a place where we can feel accomplished before we end today's stream. Get some good penguin face going on here. I am too dyslexic to read that whole summary without just not talking or drawing, so what's going on in chat is fun manga descriptions. I'm gonna carry on and leave it in chat because I can't keep up. I assume it's awesome. Let's see. I'm trying to get penguin mouth correct here. And a little eyebrow start. And angry penguin eyes. Oops, that's a funny angle. Talking about bird pirates reminded you of very, very specific. That's fine. Sometimes our brains work in non-linear fashions. Let's see. I gotta get the sweep in here. Yes, very look how dashing Captain Alejandro Pongo is. So dashing. Go a little bit there. Oh, too close. Okay. Kind of has slicked back spiky hair. That one went too far. Get some swoops in. Little bits of fluff. Yes. I don't know, you guys. I'm not sure he's I think he might start out as an anti-hero instead of a villain. I think he's already pretty dashing. I feel like he's already got some sort of tragic backstory that's led him to piracy. He's the villain that everyone's into. I think it was the name. The name Alejandro has led us to this. It felt like it was a dashing sort of pirate name. It's the hair and the penguin. Oh, I don't know. It's the hair and the penguin face and all of it combined. But yeah, voiced by Antonio Banderas. Or uh I want to say Diego Luna, the from Rogue One. Just, you know. We could just we could just we could just list excellent Latinx actors for the rest of the stream. Really, that would be fine. Voice cast our penguin pirate. That is not in fact the tink of a teacup. That is the jingle of a cat collar on a cat food bowl, because it's sort of about 4 feet behind me, and somebody has gotten up from his nap and is finally finishing his meal. So yes, that is the sound of a kitty nomming. The gentle tinkle of cat collar on food bowl. Yeah, it's cat dinner time. To be fair, I'm getting fairly hungry as well. I sympathize. After we wrap this up, I'm gonna have some dinner of my own. But first, we have to finish Alejandro Pongo, the pirate, the penguin pirate. Oh yes, yes, a little fish brooch. Yes, absolutely. It's got a. Ooh, oh, okay. Hang on. We can. It's both of these things at once. It's a decorative. There we go. Oops. There we go. Fish brooch. Oh, I've made this small. There we go. Okay. Oh, no, it was not that size. What size brush was I using? I'm just going to have to. 30. Much larger. And then this is brocade here, or embroidery. This border. This is a mess. I committed to making it look like stitches before I zoomed in and considered my options. So now this is what you get. It's fine. Includes the putu. Yes. Hey, that putu bard plays fancy parties. Okay, so should the buttons clearly have to have little bird skulls on them. because that's where we're at, I think, in terms of bird costuming. Oh, oh, Alejandro. Alejandro turns out to be the ally that Hero the hen and Leon the gander need. But because he's flirting with Hero, he makes Leon a little bit uncomfortable. That's right. I brought back the hen and the gander. I'm not letting it go. They're a thing now. Ooh, a love triangle. I don't know. I don't know if it's a love story between Leon and Hero. Maybe it's possible it's a love triangle where both Hero and Leon are into Alejandro. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's basically what happens. Like he captures them, but like just to have someone to show off to, really. Not so much. Not so much for any other reason. You know. Oh no, my sad cat is meowing at me. He must have eaten all the food that was in his food bowl and found it insufficient. Poor sad Jack. Now he will just walk around crying until he gets bored. Because no one's going to get up and add food to his food bowl. Oh, is he just, he's gone into my roommate's room and is just yelling at the wall. That's a thing that happens as well. Okay, got a little sword here. Got to get a fancy belt buckle in. I feel like maybe it's one of those that like, yeah, there we go. It's got the kind that loop over, oops, and then get tucked behind your fancy belt. Yes, and then needs the one that attaches his sword, and it's got decorative tooling on it because of course it does. I'll get our jacket over it there. Let's see. Does the jacket go over the belt or under the belt? Over, like, here maybe. Yeah, there we go. Like a little bit of a, okay, now some penguin tail. And penguin pantaloons. And then some crazy penguin feet. They have crazy looking nails, I'm just saying. Like he gets a manicure, clearly. Get the webbing. Because, you know, it's for swimming, not for walking. There we go. Penguin feet. Now that puffed out chest he's got there. Yes. Alejandro. Should we see his other? Probably. That feels like a thing that we should actually probably be able to see. Just kind of suggest it back there. Cool. All right. Flag. So it's got the bill part here. And then the jaw. And then the actual skull part. Oh, I'm gonna have to rotate the screen. Make a nice curve. Bird skull and shattered wishbone. Yeah, just tucked in the front of his vest. No, he's more confident than that. He's sure of himself. He can just have that flipper relaxed at his side. Okay, I feel like that's too much detail for it. There we go. Let's tone down the wishbone flag detail. And oops. Some banner curves going on here. Straight line across the top. Okay. Almost there. Almost there with Alejandro. Get ourselves yes. The sheep guana. The sheep guana bordello. Now the trick. Oh yeah, you should finish that. I want to see it finished. The trick here is that he's a penguin, so he's quite dark in color. But I don't want to obscure the details of him. It's not working for me. We're just gonna have to we're gonna have to just assume that you know that penguins are dark in color, and ignore that for the purposes of our ink shading. Give ourselves some quick shading. Tail. Let's see. Because they're kind of, there we go. Oops. And we'll put this in shadow because it's behind. Yeah, I don't know how much shading Alejandro needs here. I feel like he's actually pretty good without a whole lot of darkness. Maybe that's, well, see, I guess I could just, I could use another color. We could just create a tint and break the format. I have all the power in the world to do whatever I want, really. But I don't know if that will add anything or not. Not sure that it helps. Maybe. Okay, so here's the thought. Here's the plan. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and introduce another medium, another fake medium to this digital thing. We're gonna go with watercolor. He's gonna get a watercolor tint to go with his ink. Background, or his ink shadows and his ink lines, rather. We'll tint him so that he's got his two-tone penguinness, but still not weird sort of flat colors. That's what we're going with. Actually, let's just cheat. There we go. But only for the, not for the feet. We don't need 2 layers for the feet. There we go. And the flag. Let's just leave the flag line work. That seems fine. Okay. Saving again. So this is Captain Alejandro Pongo, pirate of the however many C's Bird DnD has. I feel like it's a hilarious number, like 54 or something. I see a thing that I want to correct quickly before we wrap up. Just gonna fix a line because I want, oops, because I want that to be clear. That's fluff. His head goes around the others. There we go. Fixed. So, so pirate flag, pirate birds. Pirate, and let's not forget, there's a cult. Let's see if we can get them both on screen here. Let's make this hilariously. Yes. There we go. Cultism. I don't know if this is the scale as that they are together. I think that starlings are probably smaller. But I think that he yeah, Alejandro is definitely short. Certainly compared to the gander, he's going to be short. Sorry, I don't mean to be zooming in and out. I'm just trying to frame. There we go. I'm trying to frame this end screen here. The Putu Bard is a lady. Also, as you'll remember, Hero the hen, who wants to be a Quailodin, is also a lady. Hero the hen and Leon the gander, who wants to be a botanist. That haven't been drawn. They're just a thing I've been talking about today. It's just, you know, just how it is. So it's after 6, and we've accomplished our task, and I think it's time to wrap stream up. Talk about a little bit of business and gaze upon what we have wrought. I know there are no sorcerers yet. I think that we've only got the paladin and the in terms of drawn characters, we only have the bard and the paladin. I tasked everyone with coming up with an interesting druid, but I think that what I've done is just made Leon for myself. So now I have a gander who wants to be a botanist who's definitely going to end up a druid after probably accidentally becoming part of a cult. That seems like a thing that would happen. He has to be saved by Hero the hen who wants to be a paladin. It's like her kind of like realizing her own potential quest. Anyway, this has been Bird DnD, villains and apparently villains and anti-heroes, because I think we've all agreed that Captain Alejandro Pengo is just he's not quite a villain. I mean, look at him. He's not quite a villain. Yeah, that's it. He saw them. They talked to him. They talked to him about different plants, and he thought it was like an academic club. So yeah, the rogue with the heart of gold, and the creepy starling cult. So I think we've set out. We've done what we set out to do. We've created some some villains and NPCs. We've expanded the world of Bird DnD. We've put fractals on cultist robes. Thanks for that, chat. and discussed whether stars on skulls are made of carvings or decals, or in fact painted on with blood. And that's I think where we're gonna wrap things up. Next week there will be a stream on Friday. It will probably be abbreviated, and I'm not totally certain what it will be. I will put up, as usual, a poll or an announcement on Twitter. I will be out of town the following week, and I will be leaving on a plane the day after next week's stream. So it's going to be kind of low impact, and it probably, I'm afraid, won't be pottery, because I would then have to set it aside basically for a full week, and I'd worry that it would get too dry to finish. It'd just be problematic to start something and then leave it for a week. So we may just go back to some sort of Halloween, October themed digital work. Not sure. I will think about it and do some posts. Obviously, anyone who has any suggestions or ideas should tweet me about it. I'm at Sarah with T on Twitter. The usual end cap things. You can support me on ko-fi.com/Sarah with T. There's a link underneath all of the Twitch stuff. That helps me spend time on these and plan things, and just get to reserve this time for this instead of for my actual job. And as we talked about, I'll start putting these up on a YouTube channel, which I will tweet about, and probably also link on the sort of like stuff underneath the stream here, so that people can watch old streams back in a place that they will never disappear from. And yeah, thanks for joining me on Friday Tea Time, the hashtag that I'm not gonna let die. It's always fun to do these kind of group storytelling things with chat. I like having ideas like penguin pirate captains come up and getting to see them through to their inevitable fun conclusion. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you guys have a great evening and a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday for more Friday Tea Time. Bye, everyone.